Hey everybody, this is going to be a different kind of video than I normally do. I'm not breaking anything today. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the difference between, or what to look for in a real 1952 Mickey Mantle using a real 1952 Mickey Mantle rookie card. It's the most iconic card in the industry. It's also the most highly faked card in the industry. I know some people are going to gasp when they see what I've done here, but I'll explain in a minute. It's okay. First, this is a 1952 George Mikovich Pirate card. The reason why this card is so important is because not who the player is, but because of the number on the back. This is card number 310. As a lot of people know, card number 311 in the 1952 set is Mickey Mantle. So I got this card to compare my cards to. Well, one, I didn't have to because of the grading process, because I'm actually fortunate enough to have two of these in my family. But the other one I broke out of its case to do this video, and yes, I'm actually holding the raw card in my hand without gloves or anything to compare it to, but there's a reason. If you look on the back, you'll see that there's, like, I don't know if it's oil or grease or what, but it's been on the back for years, and so my hands are clean, but this can't be any more damaged that way than it already is. This would, we at the absolute most would get a 2, but more than likely get a PSA 1 when graded. So I just wanted to use it to show basically what to look for a real authentic card. First of all, comparing it with the other 52 card. Yes, so this one's prettier. This one's basically in mint condition. Actually, I got a steal of a deal on this when on eBay. I got it for $10, which, to be honest with you, any comment in a 52 set will usually run you far more than that, but let alone the number 310. I was thrilled that I got it for $10 in this condition. But you do really need to find a 52 common one. You can find them on eBay. What you do need to do is to try to find, it doesn't have to be the 3, it doesn't have to be this one, but it does really need to be one from the high series, so that you're comparing apples to apples instead of, you know, the low series, which is usually the black back cards. The red back cards are mostly the high series, not always. Like, I know for a fact that there's at least a couple cards that have a red back on them that are in the low hundreds, so kind of like the way it is. But first thing you do is, if you notice, you can do it this way, or you can do it the other way. Doesn't really matter as long as you line them up right. They are the same size. So that's one of the huge ways to tell if it's a real card, Mickey Mantle, because the 52 is bigger than a standard baseball card. I'll show you what I mean. Hold on. Okay, this is a leather lumber card, the Mickey Mantle. If you try to level these up together, you'll see the difference sticking up over here. They're bigger. These are a bigger card than the standard size baseball card. So a fake almost always will not match up to the right size, to the thickness, and to the feel of a real 52 card. The other thing to check before I get into the specifics, ways, things to look for, is you can pick one of these up for $8. This is what's called a jeweler's loupe. and you just open it up, and this one has a 30 and a 60. Well, actually, I think it's the other way around. I think this one's 30 and this one's 60 magnification. You never need a 60 times magnification. To be honest with you, 30 is a little much, but 30 works good. But you can do it with as little as an 8 times magnification. But what you're looking for on this card is look at the lines. When you look at the borders with jeweler's loupe, on a real 52 mantle, it will have a solid black line, even under magnification. It's clearly a solid black line. On a fake 52 mantle, it will be dots, because it was actually printed most of the time with a dot matrix printer, and you actually see the dots with the jeweler's loupe whenever you look at it through magnification. There's two types of 1952 mantles. Some refer to them as type 1 and 2, some refer to them as type A and B. Doesn't really matter. They're the same thing. Basically, the biggest difference in the way to tell which one's which is in the box with the Yankees logo. On the type 1, the border goes all the way around all four sides of the square of the Yankees logo. On a type 2, like this one is, or type B, which either way you want to call it, there's no border on the bottom. It just goes around 3 parts. That's how you can tell the difference. This is critical because there are differences in the cards based upon which type of mantle card that you're actually looking at. I'm going to try to explain, after I explain this card, what to look for on the type 1, because this is actually the type 2 or type B. For the people who do have the card that has the one that goes all the way around, what to look for on those. On this one, the first thing that you want to look for, I'm sure most people probably heard of the missing pixel. There is a missing pixel on both versions of the card. On this card, the missing pixel is located right here. I don't know if I can get this up here where you can see it good or not. Right. Let's see if I can do this where my finger is. Right there. You see the little white speck? That's where it is a printing error that where one of the pixels wasn't colored in, and it's on every real Mickey Mantle. They say that there is a couple real Mickey Mantles that doesn't have it, but I've never seen one. But anyways, it goes directly across from his eyebrow, basically, on this card. It does have the 3 parts without the 4th one. On this one, the stars around it are kind of more jagged. See how they're kind of like jagged around the name than they are on the other card. And the E does not have flip up like it does on the other one. It just, the E just ends like a regular E. But the Y goes all the way down on the Mickey. The other things to look for are the bat marks. If you look at this closely, you'll see, I don't know how well it's going to focus, but you can see that there's bat marks on the bats right here. Those have to be there. If those bat marks are not there, it is not a real 52 mantle. I'm trying to think. I believe that's the only thing to look for. Oh, no, I'm sorry, there is one more thing. The other thing is, on this card, you will see that the lines actually extends a little bit past the border at the top. It's supposed to do that on the type 2. It's not perfectly even on the square on it, and it should go just a little bit past it. If you flip the card over and you look at the other side, on one, these from the real ones, the threads on the baseball and the little arrows for the threads on the baseball should always point to the right. On the other version, they should always point to the left. The other thing, and this is the most crucial way of knowing whether or not you have a decent, at least a good chance of having a real mantle, is the way it lines up. If you look at the T in right, the very end, that T needs to line up. Let me get this out of the way. Hold on a second. That T, whoops, needs to line up with the S. Make sure I'm in the right spot here. So it's kind of hard to see on the camera doing it from backwards. Yeah, it lines up with the S and the DiMaggio's, and I can hear the light's hard for me to read. It's stored right below it, but there's two S's in a row right below. You all can see it, I'm sure. I'm going to make sure that it can focus, but it's T, S. Those have to line up perfectly, pretty much, on this version. On the other version, the H in right actually lines up with the S on the type 1 instead of the T. It's the H that actually lines up with the S on the type 1. Trying to think if there's anything else. You do have the stars the same way that you did before, as far as the way that it's made. You'll see where it has the star outline around the border, whereas the yellow comes down on a type 1. It'll come down below this. It's almost like colored outside the line, so to speak. That's the way that the type 1 is made. The yellow will actually go below that line. On this one, on the type 2, that doesn't happen. It actually stays in the border, even though the stars look kind of jagged on them. And because I know that because basically there's 7 things to look for a real mantle for a type 2. You got the pixel, which is here. You got the border, which is here. It's 2. You got the E to make sure that it looks right. It's not the Loupe one, which is 3. The stars, which is 4. The bat marks, which is 5. On the back, you got making sure that the threads on the card are going to the right and not to the left. You'll see the little like arrow like things in the threads on the baseball. And then make sure that the T lines up with the S perfectly in DiMaggio's, and that's the things that you need to look for. And then if you can get you a hold of an actual card for 52, you need to make sure that they line up perfectly. It doesn't matter, it doesn't mean get them lined up. They match up perfectly, no matter, you gotta make sure they actually line up there. But unlike the other card where I showed you before, it doesn't matter which one I grab, they're not going to match up. It doesn't matter if it's this one, which is that one, or this one. And they'll end up, which is this one. Doesn't matter. I know that people were going to think I'm crazy for taking this card out and handling it this way, but the truth of the matter is, I'm not going to crease it. It doesn't have any creases in it. I'm not going to tear it. It's going to go right back into its protective case after this. But to me, it was important enough to show people what to look for on a real 1952 mantle, so that they don't get taken sometimes literally for tens of thousands of dollars on a fake card. So I just wanted to, do this video and so people could see what one actually does look like. And a person who has one, normally is never going to actually take it out and hold it up to the camera and show it you know, to you like this, but because this isn't the, I guess the best way to put it, the better card that is in my family, and this one has already been pretty beaten up to the point where it's going to get a PSA 1 probably anyways when it's graded, if it's even graded. I mean, I don't even know if this one, I'll ever even grade this one or not, but it's still worth it to bring it out to show you all what to look for if you're buying one, because there's some raw cards on eBay that they're selling for thousands of dollars that they say is a real Mantle. And if you look and they have all of these characteristics and they guarantee the authenticity, saying that they will return your money if it's not, then you know you may want to take a chance. But truthfully, yes, it is better to buy one that's already been graded so that you know that it's authentic. But even that's not as sure a thing as it used to be, because people are putting fake cards into real PSA and Beckett slats now, and that's actually one of the bigger cons now going on eBay with the 1952 Mantles and the 1986 Michael Jordan rookie cards both. So anyways, if you have any questions, you know, leave them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. Please subscribe and like the video, and once I get to over 1,000 subscribers, I will give away a really amazing card. I'm not saying it's going to be this one, but I will give away a really amazing card once I can break 1,000 subscribers. So please subscribe and like the video, and I hope this helped people understand what to look for in the event that they're looking to purchase a 1952 Mantle. Thanks.